2022 was a fantastic year. So much happened throughout the year. Everything from dresser builds in the parking lot to a completely new parking lot. So much has happened here, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit about what all of our volunteer leadership and staff has done throughout 2022. I'd like to start with the Communications Committee. They've done a lot of really good work this year. First of all, they interviewed the entire board of directors and created a member spotlight on all those. You may have seen them come through on the weekly news updates. Additionally, they're very involved with our local media. They allowed SPAAR to tell the realtor story as different media outlets were producing publications that went out to the general public. We have 4 years in a row now the SPAAR Toastmaster Group, which has a really robust member attendance, which is great. And lastly, we do the annual member survey, which is coming up here in January. And that's an opportunity for all of our 8,000 members to give feedback that helps not just the Communications Committee, but SPAAR in general determine what type of information our members want, how they want to digest it, and what's important to them. So definitely take time to fill that out in January. This has been a huge year for our facilities work group. If you guys haven't been to SPAAR recently, we have a brand new parking lot. Complete tear out and replacement with regrading to fix some issues. Huge hats off to the entire facilities work group for doing that. In addition to that, they've updated some of our dated lighting around the parking lot and building exterior, and they had to work hand in hand with a lot of stuff with the city of Maplewood, who's been reconstructing the streets around the building, so there's a lot of back and forth action with all that. Overall, a really big year for facilities work group. Government Affairs is one of our largest committees here at SPAAR. A lot of people don't know, but there's actually different subcommittees, and that's needed because there's so many different jurisdictions that we serve, so to monitor all these is very important. They do an excellent job of that. Additionally, the Government Affairs Committee, through getting over 50 members' input, completely updated and edited all of the SPAAR policy statements, which was a huge undertaking. They did it all this year. We also did 2 book clubs this year where we read books, and weekly we discussed what the different chapters were for that week, and they even got the authors of the books to come in to discuss it with the team after all that was done. And then we also have the Alternative Housing Showcase, which is a huge issue because it talks about ADUs, which are accessory dwelling units, and trying to move that issue forward. So when we talk about SPAAR moving the industry forward, this is a great example on how Government Affairs is trying to allow alternative housing options in an area that needs housing. So what a great thing that they've done this year. The Metro YPN Committee had a very busy year this year. First of all, they donated 1,000 rolls of toilet paper to our drive. How cool is that? We did a huge networking event at the Crooked Pint in Apple Valley this year, which was a big success. They did 4 different breakfast meetings talking about different strategies, vision boarding, social media, etc., to help educate our YPN members. Additionally, they collaborated with the Affiliates Committee. So A, what a great example of 2 committees working together, and B, the Grow Your Toolbox campaign was a huge success, allowing members to learn. One of them was a panel of veteran realtors, which I think I moderated that panel, and it was just a huge learning experience for members. And in addition to doing it in person, we also had that one live streaming as well, so members that couldn't make it to the event could also still see and digest that information. The Professionalism Committee has continued the Leadership SPAAR program, which allows a few members that sign up for Leadership SPAAR to learn about what SPAAR does in the industry, to grow as leaders, to learn more about the industry as a whole, and they even tell you which fork to use first during their etiquette class, which I've heard is one of the best parts. Additionally, they do the Better Broker series, which delivers content directly to brokers and agents that goes above and beyond whatever your brokers might be doing during your weekly sales meetings, etc. So it's just another great way to educate our members and increase professionalism in the industry. The Realtor Charitable Foundation had a very busy 2022. The biggest thing I want to share is we donated $100,000 to 3 different organizations: Great River Greening, Project for Pride in Living, and Santa Foundation. Additionally, in partnership with Bridging, we built over 500 dressers to give to people in need. We had 5 $2,000 scholarships given to realtor children to help with their college education. We held a fundraiser at Top Golf, which I'm going to say was a ton of fun. I recently picked up golf, but more importantly, they raised over $8,000 while giving an opportunity for realtors to have a lot of fun and network. How cool is that? Additionally, the Realtor Charitable Foundation is now sponsoring 2 benches at the State Fair. So if you go there next year, make sure you look out for not 1 but 2 benches. I think in whole, it's great to see the Realtor Charitable Foundation showcasing to our communities how great realtors are and what we do to give back to the communities we serve. The Committee for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion has had a busy year as well. In addition to holding career fairs and homeownership expos for our public, we've put together material to educate our members and the public about the barriers to homeownership and the pathway to homeownership, which is great for closing the homeownership gap in Minnesota, something that needs a lot of work. We are unfortunately the worst in the nation. Additionally, SPAAR's DEI committee has partnered with several specialty organizations in the area. These include ARIA, NAREB, NAREP, and the Real Estate Alliance, joining together with these organizations holding special events that help show SPAAR's and our community's support for diversity and inclusion. Our Community Engagement Committee sponsors our SPAAR Hero Award. So this year they worked in conjunction with the Realtors Charitable Foundation and the Communications Committee to really showcase these members. Additionally, they sponsor on National Night Out, the block captains get gift cards to help bring our communities together, which is really cool. And lastly, we did a on-demand service opportunity, or ODSO program this year, which is a huge success, packing over 1,000 meals, and this is where SPAAR comes to your office. So you don't always have to come to SPAAR. This is an opportunity where SPAAR can come to you. Toys for Joy is just fantastic. I mean, who doesn't like supporting kids? Our Toys for Joy organization supports families and children in Anoka County. This year, we sponsored over 1,200 families and nearly 4,000 kids, helping them have a great Christmas that they otherwise may not have been able to have without our realtor support. So that's just huge hats off to everybody that's part of the Toys for Joy organization. They had over 2,000 hours of volunteer hours during the week of setup and distribution this year to help make that dream a reality for all those children. Our affiliate committee is a very needed committee. Realtors couldn't do their jobs without affiliates, so this is a way for all of the affiliates that are an essential part of our industry to get involved at SPAAR, and in addition to that, they partner with some of our other committees. For instance, the Grow Your Toolbox program this year partnered with our YPN committee. They also partnered with our Professionalism Committee through the Better Broker Series to deliver content directly to agents from our affiliates to help educate our members on anything from mortgages to appraisals and inspections. So the Affiliates Committee is extremely important and a very good educational tool to help deliver content to our members. They've done a really good job this year. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch the update from 2022. It really was a fantastic year, and I hope each and every one of you follow your passion, and maybe that leads you to a volunteer event here at SPAAR where we can cross paths, and don't be afraid to stop by and say hi.